Cool. All right, I'm going to give the most millennial talk format ever, which is expressing yourself through Gifs of TV shows you liked 20 to 10 years ago. That comes with a caveat. This isn't the best management advice I could give, but it is the best advice I could relate to a GIF I could find, mostly of Mad Men. So good luck with that. Like Sean said, hello, I'm Kevin. I was a director of engineering. And before that, I've been in like the management sort of thing for like 10-ish years. I am no longer. Currently, I'm the CEO and unpaid intern of an incredibly esoteric note-taking app called Ruin. And eventually, I'll find a new job, but not yet. This talk comes with some caveats. I use that fancy title to convince you that you should trust me. And now I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't. This is all based largely on my experience at a single company. Every person's different. Every company's different. I am only my own brain. So you're going to have to use your judgment on it. But I think what I have to say is relevant and useful. But I don't know. You could disagree. So yeah, we are going to talk about your engineering manager, kind of what they might be thinking or doing or feeling. But who cares about them? You really don't have to. Really, the point is for you to use this information to your benefit wherever you want your career to go. And now we're going to see if the audio works.
I'm feeling a lot of emotions too.
Wait, I got to turn that up. It stopped working. There we go. All right, we'll try that again. Everyone hear that fine? All right. So yeah, the first point, and yeah, these are not GIFs. I spent way too long stealing the entirety of Mad Men and then clipping them because I am unemployed, like I said. The first thing, your manager is human. They are often reacting to the news, both around the world and at your job, often at the same time you are. They will probably remember those that give them a little bit of grace and a little bit of space to process those news instead of just coming to them, because managers are often like the avatar of the company, because you can't yell at the CEO, but you kind of feel comfortable yelling at your manager. A little bit of grace, I think, goes a long way. On the flip side, sometimes your manager might have already processed the bad news. Maybe they got a heads up a day ago, a week ago, and they might have moved into the jokey phase of a reorg. And while everyone else is like sad or mad or angry, they might be like just trying to get funny. So it might be a good time to privately nudge them and remind them of their job and how they can help. All right, gift number 2.
Well, we're getting a computer. It's going to do lots of magical things like make Harry Crane seem important.
Your manager probably also has mixed feelings about AI. Mainly, they're just tired of being asked about it by their manager, but that's what their manager's manager is being asked about it, all the way up to a board of directors who have a genuinely tenuous grasp of reality and don't give a shit about any of us. They just care about their investments. But this kind of means you have an opportunity to kind of meet your manager halfway and figure out, what is your opinion of AI? How do you think you can use it? That can become your manager's opinion of AI, and you can influence them and help them in those ways. You could also just dig your feet in. That's an opportunity as well. That just won't be as productive for you in your career, but by all means, you do you. Totally up to you.
It's his fault. He comes and goes and never says anything.
All right, I'm stuffing in 2 pieces of advice here. One is come to your one-on-ones with something to say, because your manager probably knows if you're not the kind of person that comes to your one-on-ones with something to say, and then they are just dreading needing to fill 30 minutes of time. And when you, after 12 minutes, you say, all right, that seems good, they feel really bad about doing that. So just think of a couple topics. Point number 2 with this one, your manager really doesn't like reminding you of things. Figure out a workflow that works for you, a calendar, a to-do app, a sticky note, a half-baked notes app that's named after a T.S. Eliot program. Don't make your day your manager's problem. And P.S., accept your damn calendar invites. You might not live in your calendar. Your manager does. And them just constantly seeing, like, accept it or decline it. Either one, doesn't matter. Just pick one. You might ignore it, but your manager doesn't, and I promise you, it annoys the hell out of them. Maybe at least says you read the email. I'd be fine with maybe. Yes, Bob.
A small comment about your first point.
Yes.
Was about one-on-ones, especially about one-on-ones with your manager and having something to say. I would like to extend that further. Take the initiative. If you control the meeting by talking, not that I have trouble with that, then you will find that when it comes time for you to ask, well, A or B, or what are we going to do next, whatever, you really are going to have the option presented to you. Sometimes they'll say, do this shitty piece of work that you didn't want to do and you're avoiding it anyway. But I find that often, if you don't make them come up with things for you to do, then you can work on what you're suggesting for them that you want to do.
You're going to like one of the slides I have after this. Just stay tuned.
These are great slides.
It is possible to commit no mistakes and still lose. That is not a weakness. That is life.
All right, this one's a bit more aspirational, but I think like I think this is what you hope the kind of person your manager is, and the kind of relationship that you have with your manager. And if you don't have that kind of relationship, you should, and you want it, you should probably go somewhere that you can get it and has it, because if you want to grow, you need space to make mistakes or not make mistakes and it still go bad. So sort of look for that if that's what interests you. But by all means, if you don't want that and you just want to keep your head down and collect a paycheck, no judgment there as well. But if you're looking for that sort of thing, let that guide you.
It's your job. I give you money, you give me ideas.
You never say thank you.
That's what the money is for.
All right, on the flip side of that, so in all my one-on-ones and in like retros, I have this concept of the, I'm blanking on what I called it. The shout into the void, where we both acknowledge that something sucks or something's super frustrating, but there's literally nothing either of us can do about it. And so you just shout into the void and you're like, heard, we're moving on. Sometimes parts of your job are going to suck or frustrate you or be boring, and there isn't anything you can do about it, and there isn't anything your manager can do about it. But the good news is you're not doing this out of the kindness of your heart. You are getting paid to do it, hopefully at a level that you think is fair. And I don't know, lean on that to avoid dying on hills that aren't productive to you or your career. Yes, Bob?
Expand on this even further. I had a manager once literally say, the company will never tell you they love you. And I may have been back after the scene ever came out. I don't know.
And if you are like maybe dying on a hill there's no chance of you or your manager fixing it, this might be going on in their head. It was certainly going on in my head sometimes.
What about this and like pushback too? Because sometimes it's not easy to push back.
Yeah, I think there is. I think it requires like judgment and requires or like what you want to get out of it. Like if you want to change something and you're willing to spend like political capital to do it, then by all means try. If the thing you're pushing back on like doesn't matter in the long run to you or your career, then maybe it's not worth pushing back on, because ultimately like you're responsible for your career more than your job or your company, I guess I should say, not your job. But this all comes with like, I don't know. I'm just one guy who's probably, moving up the ranks. You sort of get acclimated to tolerating certain things. I might be a little more open to just going with the flow than other folks, and you got to use your own judgment there. The number one advice, if there was someone who used to be on my team who came, even though I invited them and they didn't show up, like the number one advice I always gave was like, you can't die on every hill. Like by all means, die on a hill, but you physically can't die on every hill. So die on the hill that counts, that matters to you or the company or the goals, and kind of make it matter, make it count.
I feel bad for you.
I don't think about it at all.
This one is not true. Your manager probably thinks about you more than you are comfortable with. But I think it's directionally true in that you have more of an opportunity to think about yourself than your manager has an opportunity to think about yourself. I think self-evals are kind of a perfect example of this, where they always suck. Everyone struggles with them. You got to write your little thoughts and your little feelings about the way the haters kept you down over the past year. And if you find yourself thinking like, oh, my manager's really good at this. They always bring a lot of things I missed, a lot of ideas. So I'm just going to kind of phone this in, and then we're going to have a good conversation, and the document will be good, at the end of it. Don't do that. Don't think that. You're wasting an opportunity to tell a good story about yourself, and much more importantly, you are wasting an opportunity to fill in the gaps that your manager might have about your work. You have to do one of these. They have to do 6, 7, 8. One time I had to do 13, and I went insane. So in those cases, unless there's unless you're kind of in the extremes of like a really big, like you did a really good thing or a really bad thing, they might not be focusing on you that much. So you can really set the tone, and they're just going to take their word for it, and then they'll start parroting your words in meetings about bonuses and raises and things like that. Yeah.
I wanted to say self-evals were like my nightmare every single year. But one of the things that helped me the most was actually just keeping a daily note of what I've been
Yeah.
working on. And now that AI is here, throwing notes at AI to help me remember what the fuck I worked on over the last year. Because that was probably my biggest struggle. Was like I felt like the self-eval was trying to justify like myself to the company essentially. And as a person that, we talked about this a lot today, as I'm working on this related, but as a person with like ADHD and time blindness and like just not being able to remember from month to month what the fuck I worked on last month, like that can be a huge help and really takes a lot off of my manager as well.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of told everyone of just like, daily, weekly, monthly, just kind of write it, like always be writing the rough draft of your self-eval, and then at the end, you already have a rough draft that you can then polish up and let an AI do some of it. Sometimes I'd be really bored if I was reading 6 open AI or ChatGPT summarized self-evals, but that's your manager's problem, not yours.
I actually used the AI just to tell me what
Yeah.
I worked on essentially, and then I would write the evaluation myself, but just to remind me of like what I thought was important
Yeah.
that I worked on throughout the year.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have also used AI either, like vibe code. And it fills out commit messages, and also I've had it like make it write down like exactly every commit for it. I found like the best way to remember what you've been doing, or like since I work with like a client who's like in a different state. Like I will record a demo, and it does not only the demo like communicates what I've done, it also helps me debug the whole ad because I'll think, oh, I did this, but no, I did.
Yeah. This is why I'm writing an incredibly esoteric notes app right now. It's because for this exact purpose.
I've kind of wondered from an employee perspective or the non-manager how much those self-evaluations are justifications for whether you're getting a raise or not, or who gets to get the raise on the team, and does that ever kind of play into things?
And other managers
For example,
jump
like,
in.
Someone from higher up is like, you can give one person a raise, but the rest of the team can't, and then suddenly you have to justify that.
The system that I was in, there was always a budget, and then so it was never like we have enough for one. It's like you can either reward a high earner or you can spread it really evenly, and then it's like how do you manage that? Like when I was doing that, I wasn't like going line by line through the self-evals to like try to like do some. I mean, like all these raises are a little bit vibes based because it's all humans. But like if it was if it was like, if I found myself having a really productive conversation and it aligns with my view of, and that person had a really good year, like those two things are going to align to naturally maybe push you up a little bit within the budget that there is and within, like, you're not, I was not stack ranking people or in competition, but it was like, well, I get this chunk of money and I got to put it somewhere across these people. Bob?
We're a big company, and at our company, there are two things. One, there's a range, just like you said, that pretty much every of your peers are going to be getting something in this range, with tweaks depending on blah, blah, blah. But a manager, and this has been true for a long time, but a manager of mine a long time ago said, if you want the big raise, they'll have a certain number of larger raises or bonus that year. It's not just your manager needing to convince my division, you need to convince his peers as well. So they'll have a manager meeting, they'll talk about it,
Yep.
make a big raise. Likewise, everyone knows who's in trouble that year. Someone is a fuck up, and pardon me, but they work, and that they're going to go on a plane, or that they're going to have a issue, and that's the way the company tells you, now, you got to shape up or ship out. That was mine.
No, good. Anybody else? These are good questions. Good conversations. All right. Last GIF that also has strong language, so cover the baby's ears.
What did we learn, Palmer? I don't see. I don't fucking know either. I guess we learned not to do it again.
Yes, sir.
Fuck if I know what we did.
Yes, sir. It's hard to say.
I don't. This seemed like a good one to end on. I don't have much to say about it. Otherwise, sometimes there's nothing to learn. You're not going to learn anything. Your manager's not going to learn anything. That's fine. That's life. Just like that incident we just fixed. We're gonna go through this whole dog and pony show of a postmortem that's just going to basically say we're not going to do that again. And I think that's fine. And I think that's deeply human. So I thought it was a good note to end on. And that is my talk. And we can all just take a moment of peace. This clip is really long, and it's eventually going to get to a summary of everything I talked about. I should have edited this. Oh, now he's smiling. He's finding peace. There we go. All right. So there's a quick summary of everything I talked about. And do I hit the stop button?